The global sportswear industry generates tens of billions of dollars every year, dominated by a fierce rivalry between two titans, Adidas and Puma. These massive empires were not built through collaborative innovation or healthy competition. They grew out of an absolute, unyielding hatred. To see how that happened, we have to go back to 1920, to the quiet Bavarian town of Herzogenaurach. Two brothers, Adolf, a quiet craftsman known as Adi, and Rudolf, a charismatic salesman known as Rudi, set up a workshop in their mother's laundry room. They built their first handmade athletic shoes by scavenging military debris left over from the First World War, pulling apart army helmets and parachute silk to stitch together raw leather. It was a highly functional pairing. Adi designed the footwear, and Rudi sold it. Surviving those lean early years required them to lean entirely on one another, relying on profound mutual trust. By the 1930s, they were ready to take a massive gamble on the global stage, the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Adi had engineered a track shoe that integrated a set of lightweight, hand-forged metal spikes directly into the soles. Knowing the potential of his design, Adi packed a suitcase, bypassed Olympic security, and tracked down American sprinter Jesse Owens, convincing him to wear these specific spikes on the track. Owens went on to win 4 gold medals. Almost overnight, the Dassler brothers were selling hundreds of thousands of pairs of shoes to athletes around the world. But as their bank accounts swelled, so did the tension at home. Both brothers lived in the same shared family villa, where a quiet, bitter jealousy began to fester between their wives. Explosive wealth and a shared living space spread paranoia. Massive success did not secure their partnership, it destroyed its remaining foundation. That collapse accelerated with the outbreak of the Second World War. The German military drafted Rudi to fight on the front lines. Adi, however, was granted an exemption to stay home and run the shoe factory, which the government had converted to manufacture weapon parts. Freezing in the trenches, Rudi became consumed by paranoia. He believed Adi had intentionally orchestrated his draft orders to steal the entire business for himself. This tension reached its breaking point during an Allied air raid in 1943, when both hostile families were forced to huddle together inside a cramped, dark family bomb shelter. As the bombers roared overhead, Adi muttered, "The dirty bastards are back again." Adi was referring to the Allied planes, but Rudi assumed the insult was directed at him and his family. The misunderstanding became the psychological point of no return, locking the simmering rivalry into a state of mortal paranoia. When Germany fell in 1945, occupying Allied forces swept through the country, creating a chaotic power vacuum. Shortly after the Americans arrived, Rudi was arrested by soldiers on suspicion of belonging to an elite SS unit. During his interrogation, the officers revealed a crucial detail. He hadn't been caught by accident. He had been denounced by someone very close to him. Sitting in his cell, Rudi reached an immediate conclusion. He believed his own brother had handed him over to the authorities to seize total control of their multi-million-dollar factory. In an act of retaliation, Rudi pointed the finger back. He denounced Adi to the Allies as a Nazi collaborator, a move that nearly caused the occupying forces to seize Adi's factory outright. By weaponizing the geopolitical chaos of the post-war occupation, the brothers ensured their business could never operate as one entity again. In 1948, they officially dissolved the joint company. Adi took control of the original factory and formed his own brand, Adidas. Rudi gathered the workers loyal to him, crossed the Allrach River, and established his own competing company, Puma. With Puma on the north bank and Adidas on the south bank, the physical geography of Herzogenaurach became a strict territorial divide. The locals adopted a habit. Before speaking to anyone on the street, residents would look down to check which brand of shoes they were wearing, earning Herzogenaurach the nickname the Town of Bent Necks. The polarization infected daily life. Certain bakeries, pubs, and butcher shops would only serve customers loyal to one specific brand, and marriages between Adidas and Puma families were forbidden. The sibling feud split the town's social fabric in two. Herzogenaurach became a polarized proxy war where every daily errand served as a public declaration of loyalty. This bitter divide spilled out onto the global stage, leading to a series of high-stakes marketing stunts, like the 1970 World Cup. Puma executives paid soccer star Pelé over $100,000 for one highly calculated action. Right before kickoff, Pelé stopped at midfield and bent down to tie his boots, forcing television cameras worldwide to zoom in on his Puma cleats. This cycle of one-upmanship and retaliation is exactly what drove both companies to dominate the global athletic market, eventually reaching a combined valuation of over $45 billion. But the financial victory brought no personal resolution. Adolf and Rudolf Dassler both passed away, having never spoken another word to each other. Their lifelong hatred built two of the most recognizable brands on Earth, and yet the feud survived them both, leaving two billionaires buried at opposite ends of the exact same cemetery.